But maybe our next one will be on fantasy turduckens, like, you know, a hobbit inside of a dwarf inside of a human or something.
This is called an orgy.
I was going to say a Tolkien orgy. All inside of an orc.
All happening inside of an orc. I'm like 4 years old.
You're sick. That's it. Yeah, Rio is still sick 3 weeks later.
Yeah, this disease that is hanging on. It just...
God, he's been sick for weeks now.
Weeks.
We have a GoFundMe started for Rio.
Yes, please. I'm on my last... I'm on my deathbed, guys. No, I am not.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. Haha, funny joke.
Joke. Haha.
Happy holidays.
Oh, yeah. Merry
happy holidays. You can say Merry Christmas. It's fine.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Kwanzaa. Happy
Hanukkah.
Festivus or whatever.
Festivus, yeah.
Saturnalia.
I am drinking tea, so hopefully I'll feel better.
Have a cool Yule.
If you guys have never a cool Yule, if you guys have never tried a medicine ball before, which I was just opened up my eyes to this by you, and it's like a lemonade water infused with peach and mint tea.
You said medicine ball?
It's called a medicine ball.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like the exercise equipment.
It's very, very similar. It's from Starbucks.
Similar?
It's their honey,
right on the
honey citrus mint tea.
Yeah.
I think technically is what they have to call it because they can't say that anything they have is medicine. But
right, because no legal reasons.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, we gotcha, fam. That's what they say. That's the words.
I gotta say, like, almost every time I get a cold, people have really cottoned on now, and some people just do it to troll me. But every time I get a cold, people, you know, if I mention it to anyone, especially like Facebook or something, people cannot help but say, you know,
suggestions,
honey and lemon. Like,
yeah, that's all you need.
Honey and lemon. I'm like, yes, I know honey and lemon exist.
I'm aware.
I have been told this for decades. It has never done anything for me.
Sure, yeah. But for them, it's like a miracle cure, right?
Yeah, and they're like, have you heard the news? It's like they're spreading the gospel.
The news?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't 100%, believe in I think, if anything, if honey is not a comfort for you, it won't bring you any comfort, you know?
Right.
Like, kind of like with any placebo effect type thing.
I mean, my mom did come over and make me albondigas, which is great. I don't know if you ever had it. It's like a soup with meatballs into it. It's Mexican. And she's like, also, you have to eat this entire lime, and then take a shot of tequila. I'm like, okay, Mom. I mean, I did it.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't cure me, but you know, I felt a little better.
Yeah, I mean, the main ingredient in NyQuil, I think, is just alcohol.
Tequila. Oh,
I mean, yeah,
maybe
could be
in Mexico. It's in tequila.
Whatever kind of alcohol.
It's
Tequila.
Tequila. No, what's the word? Noche tequila.
Noche tequila.
Noche tequila.
Yeah.
That's why my mom. I had my noche tequila. I feel so much better.
It's just tequila.
Yeah.
Tequila PM.
Con limon.
Con limon and PM. But she's like, no, you got to eat the whole rind and everything. I was like, Mom, I'm not going to eat the rind of the lime. Like, just like, I'll suck on the lime, but like, no.
You're giving me ideas for how to troll people. It's like, just make them more and more crazy cures.
Sure,
and see how far they'll go until they're like, no.
Can I add one to your list, which is just torture, but I subject myself to this.
I want to hear this.
My routine, since unsolicitedly, I'm telling you, is the gargle salt water. And then have anything with honey in it. Could just be a spoonful.
Funny.
I figured honey or lemon would have to be involved somehow.
Yeah.
I do the gargle salt water thing. And, you know, I like honey and lemon, but they don't do vitamin C supplements, though. Hey.
Sure.
And zinc apparently is also good. We're not doctors, guys. Don't listen to anything we're saying. We're BSing everything.
I'm not a doctor.
I'm not.
Oh, Dr. Chan?
Dr. Tran.
Oh, Tran, yeah. Why you keep asking? Who is that?
How do you find my village?
It's an animation. It's back for like the 90s, actually. I think it wasn't late 90s?
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Is it that what's that Anna though?
It was like around the Homestar Runner.
Oh.
Yeah. It was just this like great animation for the time. It was great. So Dr. Tran, if you know Dr. Tran, you know Dr. Tran.
Great as in funny, not as in the animation was visually spectacular.
But yeah, again, happy holidays. Welcome to Bards and Balladeers again. You should be seeing this on the Monday before. So hopefully you guys are not having to work and you're off of school and doing whatever and
rubbing in.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, all of us are probably still working. Yeah.
We are.
But if you haven't heard us before, we are a podcast all about narration and story in all its formats. We like to talk about movies a lot, but we talk about books and music and stuff too once
Musicals.
in a while.
We are trying to read more.
2026.
the year of reading.
At least 4 books.
At least one book.
Those will all be our own books, but
Yeah, writing books doesn't count as reading. But yeah, so I am Rio. I am an author. We have Oscar here.
Yeah, I write historical fiction and nonfiction and science fiction and all the fiction.
All the fictions.
All the fictions you can ask for.
And the lovely.
I am Kate. I do write fantasy along with science fantasy and sci-fi.
Yeah. So, and we're here. You can listen. You probably listen to us on YouTube, but we're also on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music as well. So find us where you listen to stuff and give us a like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And we really appreciate it. We also have a Discord. We like to take a lot of this stuff offline so you can listen to us there. And we like to just kind of have fun there and talk about random stuff. And we, what was the thing we're going to start? Our rejected story or our rejected podcast ideas. We might start going through there and just kind of giving some suggestions or
like
something.
The 4-eared elf.
The 4-eared elf. Yeah.
These two and these.
And his superpower is actually just, he's really nice.
Oh.
And hears really well.
Yeah. So our topic today is laundry list. No,
We're talking about laundry.
we're talking laundry. We're actually talking about trinkets and treasures. Oh,
Yes, for Christmas.
For Christmas. Yeah. So we thought it was a perfect holiday kind of topic to talk about and how important these trinkets and treasures are in stories and how they're used in stories. And a lot of times, and we were talking about this just earlier, that coin MacGuffin was kind of fulfills a lot of this and everything where it's just that thing that people are after. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't serve a purpose sometimes, but it's a thing that kind of moves the story forward.
Is that a MacGuffin or does a MacGuffin specifically have to solve a problem, like have a function or something?
The MacGuffin doesn't have it. It's ultimately unimportant and not relevant to the plot.
Yeah.
Got it.
Also, MacGuffin is also that when you like make a turkey with a muffin side and then, right? No.
Turducken with a duck.
So yeah, then there's a lot of examples of this and we just wanted to kind of dive into that being the Christmas season. So hopefully you're opening up some nice presents while you're listening to us on Spotify.
But maybe our next one will be on fantasy turduckens, like, a hobbit inside of a dwarf inside of a human or something.
This is called an orgy.
I was going to say a Tolkien orgy. All inside of an orc.
All happening inside of an orc. What was the elephant? All happening.
Oliphant?
Is that really what it's called?
Yeah. Oliphant.
That is a lazy Tolkien. You're dumb.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, Jesus. Let me get to the thing at hand here.
I've just got a new I've got a new fortune cookie ending now, all inside of an orc.
Ooh, I like it.
That's a good fancy erotica there. All inside the orc.
I'll suggest that to Amanda.
Yeah. Amanda, if you're watching, that's your next title.
All
inside of an orc.
You're
all
welcome.
inside an orc.
But yes, MacGuffins it's a strange story device that really I'd heard about for a while, but I never really had any sort of definition, for it. And so it really seemed like this big ambiguous type thing, but it is prevalent actually in a lot of stories.
Yeah.
I think more than we realize. And it was, I think, first coined by Hitchcock?
Hitchcock. Yeah.
Hitchcock.
Alfred Hitchcock, very prevalent movie director back in the 60s, I want to say.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I think in the 60s.
I've watched some Hitchcock movies, but I couldn't tell you when they're from.
I think it's the 60s.
I think you're right.
Somewhere around there. Just drove a lot of a lot of suspense and thriller movies back in the day. Pretty much like the Godfather of it, I would say.
But not including Godfather.
Not including Godfather. No, that was...
It's a different type of drama.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Rear Window, Vertigo. If you ever seen, there's a shot where they will either move the camera forward and then zoom out, or they'll move out and then zoom in on the camera. Yeah. It's called a vertical shot, comes from that movie, and everything is wonderful. And you know what it is if you ever. I'll put an example of it.
Disorienting. Yeah. There's one used in Fellowship of the Ring also.
Oh yeah.
You pointed that out to me. I didn't know what it was.
Vertical shot.
Yeah.
I've seen it a couple times in Babylon 5, and guy making it is like, oh, this is a good shot. It really highlights blah blah blah, and I like to use it for certain things. And I've never found an example of it where I was like, yay, that was great. But
I mean, I do like it can get to the point where like you're just using shots just to like do it. Like, sometimes you got to use it in the right place. But if you're just doing it because you think it looks cool, you're probably not using it in the right spot.
It pulls me out of the reality because my eyes, you might be surprised to learn, my eyes never do that in reality.
I think what it's supposed to symbolize, though, is almost like a gut dropping sensation of.
It's like your surroundings fall away and everything's on you, but it's like, but not for the audience, right? But I don't know. That's me.
I'd say maybe it's probably like 90% of the audience probably empathize with it. That's completely out of my butthole. But I mean, I don't know why I said butthole. I could have just
say quack.
I could have just ended at butt. No.
It's a very specific region.
I know.
I'm just like, I've got a new fortune cookie ending,
or
out of my butthole.
Out the butthole and all inside an orc.
Yes.
Yeah.
All inside an orc.
This is going dark places on this.
Happy holidays,
Christmas season here.
Was it Happy Holidays, or Merry Christmas, you filthy animal? Was it Home Alone?
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. And a Happy New Year.
He's watching that.
Seen it.
You've never seen Home Alone?
No.
That is like quintessential cinema.
I know.
Another John Williams soundtrack, actually. But when it comes to, treasure, trinkets, and gifts sought after quest items, oh no.
And kitties.
Cats, look at this treasure. There's a butthole.
Butthole. Did someone say butthole?
Oh, Sid. You summoned the cat by saying
I did. Butthole. She's like, how did you know?
Oh, God.
I'm right here.
I don't know that I want that power.
You just never know. You have to be level 4 wizard for that.
Sibby,
we love you.
It's a spell that you have to take to get all the other ones.
It's a prereq for like a lot of stuff. But yeah, so this is going off the rails, but that's okay because it's holiday.
Yeah, a couple questions I feel like we can ask ourselves, or like how a couple questions we can ask ourselves are, how are these items used well or badly in stories or songs?
What are they used for?
What
are they used for?
Right. Yeah. And then what are some of the coolest items we've encountered in stories and games? What are some of the most contrived plot devices? I think MacGuffin, that's why I had that example on there.
Sure.
I've never loved the way that people say like, oh, that's a MacGuffin. Like
a derogatory where it's like, oh, they're not working well enough to actually make it like useful, or they're just kind of putting in there. It's just like, sometimes you just need that instigator, or whatever.
Catalyst.
Or catalyst, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then another one is, and which ones do we always remember with feeling for good or ill?
One of the things, I don't know, and we didn't write this down, but one of the treasures is in Hellraiser is the what's it called? The little cube that you transform.
To your example.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, my friends, my horror friends who love that, they would know it's not the holocron, because that's Star Wars.
The hubris cube.
The hubris. I don't know. But it's things like that where it's it can either bring you someplace new, or it's the gateway to other places. Those are other treasures that can, like Treasure Planet, which we've talked about before. It literally is, there's an actual map, and that's actually the treasure to Treasure Planet. And it actually on the planet is the access to the treasure and to the gateways to get to places quickly. That's how Flynn got there. So yeah, the treasures are always just a fun. I think that some people just think of like, it's almost like idols and everything. Like a lot of time you'll see like these idols that will, even the Ark of the Covenant is a treasure.
Or even the idol at the beginning of that same film.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it's true. And it's neither, and even though everybody is after the Ark of the Covenant, it does get rid of the enemies at the end.
Yeah.
But really doesn't add a lot.
I'd say that the criticism of that movie is that the Ark of the Covenant doesn't need Indiana Jones at all to solve movie. So
Sure.
one could argue it does too much.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
he doesn't, and that he's the real MacGuffin.
Right.
I'm okay with that argument. Actually, Big Bang Theory kind of
they
supported
did,
that
yeah.
as well. Yeah. I don't disagree as much as I love Indiana Jones.
Or like, I was gonna say sorry. Or like and in every anime, the real treasure is friendship and the friends you made along the way. That's the real friendship.
Yeah, I like the end of Castle in the Sky where they're all flying away. Well, we did take a few things, got all the trinkets on the pirate.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, well, that's
Just
the
a
real
couple.
treasure right there.
Yeah. It's just,
I think one of the most, I guess it depends on your circles, but like a very iconic one is even in technically the Hobbit, sorry, the Arkenstone. I think
Yeah.
that's, I mean, and it's also a symbol for what, greed and other things.
It's sort of a symbol. I mean, it's a symbol of rulership for the mountain. So
Mhm.
sure.
having it is kind of important to Thorin.
Mhm.
But yeah, I feel like it's kind of always been weird to me that like if it's a symbol for greed, because it's like, well, maybe it just brings out the worst in dwarves. Maybe it's not a symbol for greed. It's
Sure.
just a catalyst for actual greed.
Right. Right.
Is it like almost? Forgive me because you guys know this better. Isn't it almost like a sickness? Like, isn't that what caused some of the dragon sickness?
Dragon
to
sickness.
I don't think so.
Okay, so
This
That
might be a movie thing.
I think it's a movie thing, but
Oh.
I feel like there's probably some, like they might lean towards it in the book. I haven't read the book again since.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen all the movies. I only saw the first one at gunpoint.
But it's, as for in the book, I feel like allude to it. Sorry, is what I was trying to say. Allude to it, the sort of personification of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, any other favorite examples or?
I mean, when I was thinking up, because I sort of thought up that we should do this for the holiday season. Like those treasures you get. Part of how I thought of it was, people getting them as awards or rewards, or like after a long quest or whatever, they finally get the thing they want, like the Twinkie in Zombieland, or I mean, Indiana Jones is full of items like this. You get the stout, you get the medallion of Ra.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first part of the first movie. And that helps you get the Ark of the Covenant. After that, nobody even talks about the medallion anymore.
Sure.
Even though it's this beautiful, solid gold jeweled thing. Nobody cares about it after the Ark of the Covenant is like located.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So both of those are items that they move the story along, or they are the end reward. And the Twinkie, that's just, it's like the thing that Tallahassee, the character, is after the whole time. But as far as like the purpose they serve, yeah, like it's that sort of like, it kind of drives pacing and plot. It can provide external goals where there might not be any otherwise. Like the Arkenstone, I think it is like a catalyst in the book, at least, for it's the catalyst for some of the action, like Bilbo using it as leverage for negotiation.
Right.
So yeah, as far as like how are they used, I think I mostly see them as plot devices.
I mean, absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They can be used as like, character idiosyncrasies, like with Tallahassee. They can be used as world building.
I do think you're right where it is when it's used as a plot device, it's almost like a sports event where like watching it get passed between people like back and forth. It's like, oh, they got it. Now they got to get back, but then they have to do this thing to get back. So it's just kind
it's
of
like the
back and
World
forth.
Cup,
Yeah. Seriously. Like I'm not even joking. Like,
Stanley Cup.
yeah.
Yeah.
But another example of this too is love and like romance. Like, that's the ultimate goal or the treasure. Like, if the guy gets a girl, then, he gets the treasure. Like that is what he's working for, and watching him to go through each part, is always for romances are fun, at least.
Right.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Is Lizzie Lizzie Bennett in Pride and Prejudice? Is she a MacGuffin for Darcy? Somebody who is more familiar with the story, if you know in the comments.
Kimmy, we're talking to you.
Yeah, please. I'm curious to know your thoughts on it because I just thought of it. But
I mean, it's possible. I mean, if not her specifically, the love and the want to garner her affection, right?
Sure. Yeah, I don't want to belittle Lizzie to anything more than being a brilliant, fiery, character that inspires many of us.
But I do like when the MacGuffins do become something more than just that object. I mean, it may start as that, with that treasure. Cowboy Bebop does this actually pretty well with Ein the dog.
Yeah.
Because when you first get to Ein, it's like, oh, we got to get this data dog so we can get a bounty. But then they end up, spoilers, they end up keeping Ein. And then now he's part of the crew, and then he becomes something more. And then
they get told that he's not worth very much, but they don't know he's a data dog.
Yeah,
sure.
So they think he's just a corgi.
Yeah, a Welsh corgi.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
Yeah. So stuff like that. I think that's a good example of when it's used at least well or continually, and then it becomes more than just the object or the thing. It becomes a character. I mean, yes, Ein is an animal, and it can easily be that, but objects really don't transfer into that and everything. Maybe even more from Treasure Planet. I go back to Treasure Planet again because Treasure Planet is great.
It's literally in the name.
It's literally in the main name.
I mean, obviously there's the One Ring that sort of drives that whole story. The one,
the One Ring.
That one.
That's the One Ring.
If you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that clearly has, abilities and has even arguably, it has an influence.
It has its own intentions. I would agree.
Even if it doesn't have a legit personality, it has an influence.
Mm-hmm.
Is it sentient? Or
it's sort of it seems like it's kind of almost maybe on a subconscious level where it just urges the direction.
It's almost like it has some kind of I can only use the word magnetic force to want to go back to where it belongs in a way.
And it just, influence, it wants to influence the holder, but it tends to want to influence them to get back to its master.
Its original. Yeah, its master. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it can, slip off people's fingers when it
can get bigger, it can get smaller.
Yeah.
We see
I
that.
think that's just a convenient way to, because it's wait, this was made for Sauron and he's huge. It's I was going to fit on the Hobbit's finger.
Well, it fell off.
Wasn't for fingers.
Isildur in the river.
It slipped off of Isildur's finger in the river. And it slipped off Gollum's finger in the cave.
Right.
Oh,
so I think
get smaller in the dryer, or how does this work?
Magic.
Magic.
Yeah, magic.
Influence, like Oscar said.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take it.
But so it's kind of a bit. I mean, a lot of these objects are they have a utility, but they're also a plot device. So it's you want to have the thing, but usually it's a stronger plot if you want to have it for a reason. And that's easier if it has a function. I'm going to go with some anime here. The Record of Lodos War, the Scepter of Domination has a lot of function, but that's why everyone's after it. And it drives, you can take over Lodos, take over the world, but it's funny, up until later episodes, no one's even talking about it. It just kind of comes up. And again, I haven't read the novels because this anime is based on novels. Would love to read the novels.
Sure. Yeah.
In obviously English because I don't read Japanese, but it has the ability to control massive amounts of power, including from deities and stuff. It's what everyone's trying to converge on in the second half of that story. Other things that I think have kind of a plot significance. What was it they're after in Jingle All the Way?
Turbo Man.
Yeah.
Turbo Man figure. Gotta love that movie.
It drives the whole plot.
Yeah.
Romancing the Stone. This big emerald. The Aztec gold in Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's true.
Yeah.
Initially, it's just it's this medallion. She takes off a will, and then there's more to it than that.
Yeah,
it becomes part of the whole plot. With the undead pirates. And
in a way, I think Will is too, right? Because they need his blood to help. Is it his blood? I don't know why I'm thinking blood.
It is his blood.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He and the medallion are the pirates' MacGuffins.
Sure.
But nobody really knows that except nobody really, they know that there is a person they need. They don't know it's him.
Sure.
Yes.
And nobody else, I guess Jack knows, he knows who it is and that they need that.
Right.
But nobody else is aware. Elizabeth isn't aware. Will isn't aware.
Right.
Sure. They just think he needs the medallion.
Yes. Elizabeth wants to protect Will.
Right.
Jack knows because he's Jack and he just finds.
Well, he was the one after it in the first place when they mutinied against him.
Oh, sure.
But what I'm saying is along the way, Jack just like we were kind of talking about at some point, that Jack just, because he's just going with things, he is just really lucky. And so he came upon Will and learned that he was Will Turner.
Yeah.
You know, just
He's the
kind of
correct person.
Yes.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, I have both MacGuffins in my possession.
Yeah.
So they'll have to negotiate with me.
Once they know that that's what they needed, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But he knows that there's a curse because he gets shown that in his jail cell. And then he knows, okay, here's what has to happen then. So it's clearly he knows all about it before he even meets Will.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a lot of these things are, you know, plot devices like the Horcruxes in Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which, you know, the One Ring is arguably an early form of that, you know, imbue it with your personality and everything, a part of your soul.
Oh, I see what
part
you're
of
saying.
your essence. Yeah, you could say the One Ring is a kind of Horcrux.
Yeah.
And again, this is all, you know, fantasy stuff. But like I said, you know, there's also like the Ferrari and Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Sure. Yeah.
True.
You know,
Mhm.
like that's not the end all be all, but it is. It does carry the plot
Right.
along.
Right.
I'd say even in music, go with me here.
Yeah.
That when people listen to music, whether it's like a new age like type pop type story or, you know, symphonic, hugely orchestrated songs, symphonies, I think people really do seek out a resolution in music in some way, shape, or form, whether it's a
Sure.
you know, going through like beginning of a song, you know, going through a dissonant, you know, portion in the middle and then coming to another resolution, like melodically at the end. Like it doesn't feel like a good ending unless it ends on like, I could go into the theory of it, but as long as it's, I don't want to get too into it. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Like you wouldn't just end on a minor chord if the entire thing was a happy, you know, sounding song is what I'm trying to say. Like it has to
That'd be like, it would feel like a cliffhanger.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So even like we long for that even in sounds. And so I can't really say like that's a MacGuffin in a way. But just something that we seek out when we go to music.
Sure. But music is, I don't want to say it stands apart a little bit from those like physical treasures because like things that are meant to be experienced and everything, you don't get to take anything away from it except for the memory of it or like the initial experience of it, the feelings, right? And I remember I had a teacher who talked about they were at a lake cabin with their family and just had like a newborn and there was like a year old and they were just out on the beach and they were just by bonfire. And then all of a sudden they just hear like a bagpipe playing or an accordion or one of the two, I can't remember. And it was just like just a beautiful melody and just came out of nowhere. Someone across the lake was playing this music and they just got up and they danced with their newborn on the beach. And it was like it's a magical moment that cannot be scripted, that cannot be like, but it's a treasure that like, you know, that can be remembered, can be experienced. And I think music does that exclusively. Like other things can't. Like, you know, you listen to music in your headphones and because it brings you emotion or like you're just trying to like get through a workout or something like that, you know, and but when it's like just random or you're on the street or a subway and you hear some music or whatever, it's kind of a cool little instance of time and of music, I think is really specific to that. That makes sense.
Sounds kind of like music is there to create, like it creates certain feelings.
Yeah.
And sometimes an item in a story will serve that, like a catharsis.
Sure.
People go to music a lot for catharsis, but there are certain items that serve the same function. For example, like, you know, trashing the Ferrari is Cameron's catharsis in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
But I wonder how much of it is not just like that, like, you know, testament to like trashing the car, but also the physical act of doing it is like, you know, part of it too.
Yeah.
Right?
The car isn't itself the catharsis, like the act of trashing it, like tearing down this thing that his father has built up as a stand-in for him. Like, you don't love me, you love the car. You don't love your wife, you love the car. You know, this is your greatest love, and I'm gonna, you know, feel a lot better. Beating the crap out of it. But yeah, you get that a lot with music. So it's sort of like, it's like you're taking that energy, the energy of catharsis, and translating it into different forms and different media.
Sure.
Like what creates that in a game, what creates that in music, what creates that in a story.
Music, I mean, in video games is very powerful. I can't tell you. We talk about Last Guardian a lot, and there's a scene where if you can plan the music out well and engineer the music to work in certain scenes and like play exactly when something happens, like there's a scene where like the bridge starts collapsing and they play the song, and like we will listen to like the LP and we'll hear that song and we'll have that same feeling because we know exactly when a bridge is collapsing and you're trying to get away from it. And it's just like that feeds so much into just the scene and the essence of that like place. I don't know how that has to do with the treasure, but I'm just talking about like music is, since again, is such a different, avenue of just experience that becomes a treasure, at least for me,
I do think that you're onto something there by it's the friendship between the boy and Trico that is the treasure of the entire thing. And that is the first moment that you really have that bond solidified and that trust that the boy can depend on Trico to act independently in favor of his well-being.
Yeah.
And I think that's such a beautiful moment. And I would argue that is a treasure in its own way.
Sure.
So it's almost like trust in itself is a treasure. I don't want to tangent too much,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't trust nobody.
Thinking like, actual physical treasures.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
they can represent a thing.
Mhm.
They can't be equated, but they like those connections and such can be triggered by non-corporeal things or corporeal things.
Mhm.
You don't equate the non-corporeal with the corporeal and say it's the same thing, like it's a treasure, but it's the same concept. It's serving the same function,
Right.
but
Depending on your
without
love
being the
language,
same
too.
thing.
Mm.
Well, I was gonna say to that point though, like wedding rings, that's a form of that. Like, the non-corporeal made corporeal because you choose these like
it's a symbol.
It's a symbol.
Yeah. So it's
So is Batman a treasure?
yes.
Just kidding. Mhm. But I think with it being with these treasure physical tangible items, to stick with the topic that you're trying to stick with, Oscar, is I think I struggle with them because one, plot is not my favorite pillar of this storytelling thing.
Right.
So it's hard for me to like narrow in on it.
Right. And if it's character focused, it doesn't feel like that sort of thing. Although if you think about characters and stories, a lot of them have some kind of item that it's very central to them.
Mm.
I kind of tie a couple things together. Like talked about how you don't end a song that's in a major chord on a minor chord or it feel like a cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I said cliffhanger is that when you're talking about that, I was thinking of, how Lost does this sometimes. And like there's a couple episodes specifically where I think like there's like a happy, like end scene. And then right after that, this sort of dark foreboding thing. And it's meant to just create a cliffhanger out of virtually nothing.
Sure.
And there's one thing I think where like there's a different musical key where you see, this person has the drug addict who got rid of his drugs, like did actually pick up one of these smuggled statues that he knows has drugs in it. And you don't know if he picked it up or not until the end shot where it like pans on, he's got it. And there's a little musical cue. And so you can use certain things can be like stand-ins for treasures or catharsis. They can also be like certain treasures can also be stand-ins for cliffhangers. They can just create cliffhangers. Like,
sure,
he's got this thing on what's going to happen next.
Right.
You can use that with music. You can couple the music and an actual tangible item. And that's the, wrapping it together kind of thing. If you're talking about movies, obviously it's harder to do with books, but
True.
But you can have, like in my own first book, there's this kind of ongoing quest for this person.
Mm-hmm.
And, the story kind of wraps up well. And then you have the epilogue. Found. The person's found. And it's kind of a cliffhanger. But the person is also kind of a MacGuffin in that sense, because you don't actually interact with this person much at all in that book.
Right.
Or really at all.
I think it's a good argument that they really would be something that Roy is seeking.
Right.
Very much. And that's driving really the entire plot of the first book, even if it doesn't have like an immediate, like impact on what these characters are doing.
Yeah. If he wasn't pursuing this goal, none of the rest of the stuff would be happening.
Right.
So that's what gets everyone embroiled into what the plot of the individual book is about.
Right.
But then you start to feel like that part of the plot, that's his reason for doing things, is going to become central in the next book because of how it wraps up.
Right.
Sure.
Consequences.
Consequences of my actions. You arrived again.
Yeah. There's another one in Lotus War as well, like the circlet, Carla's circlet.
Sure. Yeah.
Where, it's like, oh, well, like they defeated Carla, whatever, and then her circlet shows up again and takes over the thief.
Oh, I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, we'll have to watch sometime. It's great animation. Like I do miss that, like
good story.
Late in story too. Yeah, that late 80s animation. Like I really enjoyed that in 90s, but that's another topic. That's my treasure from the 90s is 90s animation when it was at peak. But I was gonna say something else too. No, I can't remember. I don't know. Just gonna shake.
It was probably about Lost.
Probably about Lost.
Definitely.
So they lost the point of that story, and they've lost their treasure.
And it is now faded to the gray.
But yeah, like the Holy Grail and Monty Python.
Oh, sure. I mean, literally, like, you know.
Or Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Monty Python's better.
I don't know.
Wow.
Different genres.
No.
There we go.
Nope.
They cannot be classified or argued.
No, they could definitely be argued.
They're not even close to being the same.
Because one's better. No, but absolutely.
Those fighting words.
Yeah. But it's they handle it in two different ways for sure. Like Indiana Jones handles it as a real like item that makes a big impact at the end. And my Python, they don't ever get to it. And like you never even really see it.
No, you're right.
Yeah. And then they get arrested at the end and the movie's over.
Yeah. It doesn't have a real ending.
Yeah, right.
There is no resolution.
Right.
Right.
But
there's no catharsis.
Yeah.
But I think that's in comedy, that's okay though.
Right.
Like
the
when
absurdity.
you do, and the absurdity. Like even was it Scrat from Ice Age movies? Have you ever watched it? There's a squirrel, an Ice Age squirrel, or a prehistoric squirrel, because it's prehistoric because they got long teeth like a saber tooth. What's a squirrel?
Or like a muskrat.
Yeah, basically.
No, it's definitely a squirrel with just some big fangs.
Yeah, and he's after an acorn, and he's just the beginning of every film or a little short film before every Ice Age film, and it's funny because it started just as a joke, but then he became an actual character in the movie and everything.
It's almost like he's Loki,
Yeah, basically.
Because is it the second one where he puts the acorn further into the ice and it causes the continental drift one.
Yeah. That was
so he actually causes the entire plot of the entire movie.
Yeah.
Because he just wanted this silly little acorn, or he wanted to hide it like a squirrel,
Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah.
And so to me, it's this it's not a slapstick humor movie series. You think so?
Well, at least his part specifically. Yeah.
I mean, I guess with everything, there's maybe it is slapstick. I think Ice Age films.
It's very Looney Tunes-esque, let's just say.
Yeah. And so this squirrel that I would love to hear the director's cut of from the first one to the last one, to see how did Scrat evolve over time? Why did he get so much limelight? Why was he the complete catalyst for,
because they made him just to be silly so kids would laugh and everything. But then he's like, oh, actually, he's got a purpose. He's got a character. They slowly developed his character. Right. But it's always based around the acorn. Even when he finds a girlfriend who is everything he wanted, I guess. And then she wanted the acorn. It's no, and then that's what breaks up the relationship. And it's just so it's always the treasure. Got to keep your eye on the prize, guys.
Yeah. Sometimes it's literal treasure. If you've seen Rat Race.
Yes.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah. They're after the $2 million. And doesn't matter. Once they get it, it's it doesn't matter. They kind of give it away.
Yeah.
And it creates the twist ending.
Yeah.
It's kind of a twist. I mean, it's comedy. It's not that much of a twist, but
sure.
Trying to subvert your expectations in some way.
Yeah.
That movie is crazy. If you've ever seen Rat Race, it's such a funny, ridiculous movie. I just remember seeing in theaters with my brother and just what the crap is happening?
It's almost not what you said there.
Yeah.
What the quack.
What the quack.
But yeah, you said that you sort of struggle with it. You don't know how much you really do it in your own writing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I would, permission, like give a little bit of how I've used it in my own story building.
Permission denied.
I will say before you do, because I do want to hear it. I think one of the reasons is, as you were talking about, there was something that made me think like it's not gifts or objects are not one of my love languages.
Right.
And I don't want to use that as an excuse. That is not my intent. But I do think it does describe why physical, tangible items don't really have that huge of an impact like in my brain. But it doesn't mean that I can't learn to especially use it as a better like story device.
Well, right. You also put world building as your last thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so most MacGuffins, if you will, are either, I think in order of frequency of use, it's plot, world building, character.
Sure. Yeah.
And if you're more character focused, if that's, and then like, I don't know, I guess I'm just coming from the stance of you don't use them to flesh out your world. And so if you run into an issue of, like, how would these characters have this problem to solve? And is there some way, like, how would they go about solving that? You're not going to think, well, there's this artifact or this thing that historically has worked for solving this problem, because that's world building and that's not where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So even more so than plot, you're not likely to like have these things exist in the first place.
Right.
So plot wise, you're not likely to go to them to solve these problems.
Sure.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
And like, I know I kind of started on it. Like I'd been reading Lord of the Rings for a while and I was running RPGs, role-playing games. Again, for those who don't know, like D&D and such, I was running a Shadow World role-playing game. And I was like, I'm tired of doing this episodic thing where we don't know what we're doing from episode to episode. And I just have to keep coming up with small time plots. I felt like I wanted to do a quest. And I thought, well, how are most quests laid out? Like, well, go search for the thing to achieve some kind of other thing. But the thing about a quest is like you have something to steer toward.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not an event, like you don't know what your future is going to be. Okay, well, characters have these motivations to tackle certain problems and they're going to decide, okay, here's what we need to do that. Even in real life, okay, well, what do we need to solve this diplomatic problem? Well, maybe we need to dig up the old treaty. Well, maybe it was lost. I don't know.
Sure.
But I decided, okay, well, there's this problem that a couple of characters are really concerned about with all these constructed beings like golems and whatever wreaking havoc on, countryside. And one of them comes across this reference to this, magical item that is really good at wiping out constructs. And so they go in search of it, but like then you just have them follow this trail of clues, references and whatnot. And somewhere tied in there in the game, there's like this name of this original founder of like one of the original 3 founders of the Lore Masters, which is a big thing in that game. And the way it wraps up is, they realize, oh, like this person went missing while they were using this item. And they actually end up finding the item and the person who would put himself in stasis.
Oh, wow.
And so you can use all of that to like generate plot, but the real point of it is to have a north for your compass to point to.
That's
and like you may, as authors, a lot of the time we start with an ending, and you said you don't necessarily start that way, right?
Yeah.
I don't start that way, but I do create one before I really finish.
Right.
Because then like you said, if you don't, how can you, drive towards the target if you don't have the target?
Right.
So it isn't the first thing, but it isn't the last thing either, I would say.
Right. And a lot of the time these MacGuffins kind of function as a pre-ending. Like
Sure.
Getting it can be like, maybe it's around the climax, but then what you do with it is the real ending.
You know what it is?
What?
It's a greyhound race. It's the rabbit.
It's the rabbit.
It's the rabbit. Like,
oh my God.
Yeah. So like they're going to follow it until they get to the end.
Yeah.
Like,
or it's Alice in Wonderland. It's the white rabbit.
Sure. The white rabbit too. Yeah. I mean, that's a perfect example too.
Interesting.
Because it's one of those things where like you had to have that to keep you going on track. Because even if like you had the dogs here and then they had to get around back to here and you just put the rabbit there, they're going to be like, where do I go? Like, but they need something to chase. Like, animals need something to chase. So
right.
Sure.
Greyhound.
So in a way, the buried treasure, well, I guess it is still, the rabbit in that case,
Yeah.
but it's not moving along with them. It's
But
in one place.
The map is the rabbit because the map is the thing.
The map is the racetrack.
Or that too.
You don't know where the rabbit is.
Fair enough.
you know?
And you're chasing, yeah.
Yeah.
The rabbit is inside of them. That they,
The whole time.
Each person
French
has
has a
3
rabbit.
rabbits within them, No, I think we're all using different metaphors that work equally well.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you think in real world terms, a really good basic version of this is deep sea divers who are looking for like old shipwrecks and stuff.
Oh, sure.
So they're trying to find out exactly where the shipwreck is. And then also a lot of the time they're on that course because they're looking for valuable shipwrecks.
Yeah.
Well, how do you learn that except through doing research? Hey, this ship was carrying this stuff. It disappeared around here.
Right.
Let's look for it. Let's follow clues and let's do some mapping. And, there's a science element. There's an exploration element, but it's a path to locate something. And that's a real world example.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so, all your character stuff can happen along the way, but like, without those kinds of things, what would you typically use as like, to stand in for that, like in a character, or like, what would you use as a plot stand in?
Almost like morals maybe is the first thing that I can think of like why somebody would or would not pursue a concept or an idea leading you towards the end without much thought. That's my initial. But
there's like a conflict they're trying to resolve, and where does the conflict come? Like, what's the conflict, or where does it come from? Just an example or two. Even if ones that stuck out to you,
in my own works, or
it could be in your own works if you can't. Preferably, but if you can't think of one, like it's something that's not
a thing,
something that's not like an item or something.
So you talking about like because what comes to mind is like when people are just trying to find peace, regardless of what that is, whether it be like through ending of a war or like defeating the guy who killed your father, that kind of thing. Right. It's like there's no thing. The thing is like very metaphysical almost, like, so you're people who are trying to find peace. Maybe they're trying to find enlightenment. Maybe they're just trying to find the thing that will finally give them purpose in life. That becomes the treasure, because like, for some people can't be bought by things, that kind of idea. Like, some people can't be, swayed by objects. It's like they want to be ruler or something like that. They want power or something like that, that's an interesting thing, because a lot of time we've been talking about how the main characters or the heroes of our stories are always looking to find that treasure, or they're trying to go, but like the bad guy's motivation is kind of like just the opposite direction, like the bad guy just wants to stay in power, or like the bad guy is trying to get the treasure for their own means,
Yeah, who determines who's good guys and bad guys? Like in my stories, that's really a gray area where you start out, I don't like this. Oh, I hate this guy. He's a threat. And you're like, I really kind of like this guy. And I kind of don't like the other guy.
Yeah.
Right. No, but to answer your question, I don't know. I'm hitting like a
little block there,
like a mental block. Yeah. So I don't know how to answer it.
Like what would be a conflict that's set up, like an external conflict set up in one of your stories? Not to spoil too much. But,
no, it's fair. It's when you say external conflict, so like not an internal like conflict, like not a moral conflict in somebody's, own mind. So like externally, like
something that might have to be solved externally. Like I have to choose this or that in my life. That might be an externally driven conflict.
Sure.
Or even like the void in general, or like his need to keep the world intact. Is that talking about you?
I know. Well, I mean, in the first book, Eliakai is trying to keep the peace with his council because their land essentially is getting attacked by other regions, let's say, wanting their resources.
Okay, that's an external conflict.
Yeah. And so he's not worried about the diplomatic way of solving it. He just wants to, when people are attacking, he wants to stop it. And obviously he should be concerned about like the diplomatic ways of stopping it, because that's what's actually going to stop these people from attacking them. But he thinks it's rather annoying that they're just not stopping for just stopping.
Right. Like, why do you want to keep attacking?
Yeah. Like we all have, resources. It's not like anything is special about their land per se. They just these people are just kind of power hungry,
Sure.
like you
They
said.
do it because they can.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I don't know.
There might be even objects that would give him leverage, like diplomatic leverage, like the original green Taiwanese flag.
Oh, sure.
Like it's a big. There's a whole West Wing episode on Bartlett, the president, accepting this particular Taiwanese flag, that being a big diplomatic blunder with the Chinese,
Right.
Because it's the independence flag of Taiwan,
Right. Giving authority to Taiwan if you accept it. Recognizing it,
The act of accepting it is a huge affront or a symbol of the U.S.'s intentions towards Taiwan or whatever.
Well, he isn't the one that invokes like a diplomatic way of negotiating peace. There's another character that does by offering essentially trade agreements for money.
Sure.
So I don't know. This is fascinating to me. Like I said, it almost just doesn't compute to me that. So talking it out is
good, right?
Yeah, it is good because I'm stumped.
It's one of those things that I know some of our viewers will watch an episode of our podcast and then later, this happened with the food and stories one. And then this is not something I thought about. And then after that, food.
Yeah. And they keep noticing it. Right.
And that can help us too, as creators. If there's something that we just kind of don't think about or take for granted, then we talk about it. And then after that, now I'm seeing the story, treasure.
Sure. Yeah.
Or,
knowing what a MacGuffin is now and
or animals in fiction. Vehicles, all that stuff.
Yeah.
This is why I like doing some of the tangible item episodes.
Sure.
Is because there's a lot of things in those categories that are habitually written into stories that we kind of take for granted.
I wonder how much of that is just such a innate thing because we consume so much media and because we know I want this or that I got to do this or this because you're just becoming a reflection of the things that you've seen and done. And you become they always say nothing's original and everything is transformative. So that's a little bit of that.
Everything's more than meets the eye.
Transformers or What's in Disguise. Yeah. Okay.
It's funny though, as you're talking, I swear I was listening.
Yeah. That's
going back to Last Crusade again, just using that as an example because there is that treasure at the end. I never really cared about the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
I think that
until he was dying, wasn't somebody dying?
His dad gets shot.
Oh yeah.
And so they force him to go through and make it through so that he can come back and save his dad, which is
you know what though? If you look at that whole movie, there are at least 3, arguably 4 MacGuffins.
Oh.
The first one is the diary.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's the impetus to go to Europe in the first place. Find his dad. So his dad is one. The diary. He has the diary. So his dad is the first MacGuffin. Really, go get your dad. Okay, brought the diary with you, you idiot. The Nazis take the diary. The Nazis become they're holding that. That becomes the next MacGuffin. There's the map missing from the diary.
Right.
Yeah.
Marcus has that. I think.
Wow.
Now you have to go get Marcus, get the map. Then you have to get the Holy Grail. And I'm sorry, I've already skipped the shield.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Trying to go through the,
That whole movie is based on plot item.
Right.
But it's almost George Lucas, right? Yeah. Intentionally wrote it that way. That's just,
Spielberg or both? Or
both? I can't remember. It's LucasArts, at least. I know that. That it just, I think a lot of people, he was just influenced by what he liked. He probably played D&D. Probably, I'm not sure. But just this idea of having these steps and everything, having these artifacts. He was, again, speaking of the archaeological motivation for Indiana Jones, it's just you got to put it in those things. Or it's not it's like having a race car movie without having race cars. You just you're going to have those things in there and it just becomes the trope and then we're all okay with it because that's just how that movie plays out, But I was thinking as you guys were talking about your stories too, because I want to talk about mine as well.
Yeah, do it.
But one of the things that I thought about was like, what was Seleo's motivation for a lot of like doing? She just wanted to prove that she's the best. And she did that only because she needed to do everything herself. You know, she was just trying to, and that was like her treasure, knowing that she was self-sufficient. That's what mattered to her. And then she wanted to prove that through trials. And as she goes through it, she slowly picks up more people in her, like, in her group, and that become her, like, her structure, and become her, the thing to help her through these next things, to prove, not just to help her prove that she's the best anymore, but she starts finding out that these are the people that matter more than proving her best. And in the end, she gets a girlfriend. So that's cool. And like, you know, she wins. That's her treasure. But no, it's one of those things where like, I guess and maybe I didn't think about this at the time, but that shift in what actually is the treasure, I think is kind of cool, because it's transformative at that point. Right. So it's finding value in finding out what actually is the treasure, I think, is also the step in that makes a story good sometimes too. Is just not just like, there is that MacGuffin, there is that treasure they're going for. And as you get to it, you find out that you really weren't aiming for that at all. Like,
it's the decoy.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anti-MacGuffin and Tuffin.
The muffin, the MacGuffin top.
Have you ever met them? Met Tuffin Man?
The MacGuffin man.
He lives on Tuffin Way.
But yeah, I like what you said about how gifts are not one of your love languages, and that might play in. Like, I hadn't really thought about that. You know?
We almost get married because she wouldn't take the ring. No, but like, I don't need this.
But it's I think it's a good example though of being writers and creators in general. Just because something isn't your forte, let's say, doesn't mean that you shouldn't learn how to use it as a good storytelling device. Yeah. And so I appreciate, the going through it with me too, because that's not an opportunity that we often get, I think, as writers, because it is such a lonely craft, unless you have like a writer's group, which isn't
a bad idea. Yeah.
Right. I mean, and you're not even going to get it on a panel, because on a panel, you're just trying to not sound like an idiot, and you're trying to entertain an audience. And amongst the three of us, we're actually interested in each other's perspective. We're not just stuck on a panel with a bunch of strangers and trying to hold our own,
Right,
this is more collaborative than that.
Or them telling you just like, well, you're wrong for thinking that, or getting you don't have your, what was it called? The thing with sensitivity readers.
Yeah.
That's one thing too. I would feel like is that if somebody inherently, I don't know, if somebody flat out tells you, like if you were to say to me, like, the fact that you don't use, treasures or MacGuffins in your stories, that means you have bad stories. It's like, that's, like that would be the type of thing that
they just turn around.
Yeah. So I hope that there is an ultimate like journey lesson in here for any writer or reader watching.
Yeah. I hope that I don't ever think that I have a corner on what all the good stories are, that I can confidently say it's impossible to have good stories without doing things the way I do.
No, that's why I appreciated the way that you handled it, because it's exploratory. All of this is exploratory because it's art and it's creating things. And I
think we talk about this because it is a good exercise in just trying to figure out how these things can be used effectively. All of our podcasts are about like how we find these effective and everything. And it's like, I feel like you can do anything effectively if you just take a look at it and use them effectively. Like, that's the biggest thing.
Make yourself vulnerable, learn, adapt.
Love that. With that, I think that we hope you all, I hope you all have a good holiday season. It's been 30 some odd episodes, 32 episodes of this. And this has been my treasure.
We hope that you get some trinkets and treasures of your own that you value in a few days here.
Yeah.
Or whenever you do, for those who celebrate any holidays around now.
Yeah.
Spend some good time with your family. Sorry.
And that if that's not your love language, I hope you get some good quality time or acts of service, or, like touch. Or,
lots of hugs.
Good touch.
Good touch.
Touches.
Not bad touch.
Yeah.
You got the touch.
And words of affirmation.
You got the power. Yeah. But no, honestly, this has been a treat, and I've enjoyed doing this with you guys. So thank you for showing up, doing the work.
Here's looking forward to our last episode of the year, which will be next week.
Yeah. Which is
the 29th.
Second fiddle? Yeah,
Might be
20.
second fiddle.
It might be.
Yeah, we're not sure yet.
Yeah, might be. We'll see.
Who knows? Maybe about endings?
Think so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's end on a cliffhanger.
Just cut the video right off.
Yeah.
Like,
I think we've talked about endings before. Sorry.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
yeah. But thanks for stopping by and everything. If we're going to continue forever.
Yeah.
We are.
Yep.
Thanks,
But,
everybody.
We've been Bards and Balladeers. I'm Rio.
I'm Kate.
I'm Oscar.
We'll catch you next time.
Merry
See ya.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Happy Chrysler.
I'm gonna keep waving until you hit the stop button.